Hello, you guys. Part four. I hope what this is titled gets on the line of part four. Maybe not, but oh man, this has been a beautiful thing. If anybody, I'm surprised I didn't cry, through any of it. But Ezekiel chapter 16 is just beautiful. You see God's heart. You hear him being upset in his neglect in the spiritual marriage with Israel, and how he felt when he was neglected. And um, God has been doing some amazing things, and I some of the things that I have to share with you, I can't share with you now until after my friend comes and do her testimony. I'm just gonna tell you, have your Kleenex, because when the Lord brought it to my memory, I immediately started crying, because I remember telling her even then, I wasn't even doing YouTube videos, and I was like, Kim, you have to you have to tell that. That is a testimony. I said, I would like to interview you. I don't even know what I was planning on doing with it, but here it is where I get to, man, this is amazing. Oh man, I wish I could tell you, but have your Kleenex, because can't nobody tell it like her. And it is the most powerful, beautiful story. In it, you see God's heart, God's restoration. I'm done. I have to stop, for I'll be in tears. But y'all would love Kim. She loves God with her whole heart. We have been best friends for a while, for a long time, and she's a Southern belle, y'all. She has y'all think I have an accent. This sister has an accent, let me tell you. And just when she say, "Hey, y'all," I mean, it is just, it's so hilarious. But y'all gonna love her. Oh man, even when we were talking last night about her doing the video, um, she was crying, I was crying, and she's being used in somebody else's situation as a Moses, so to speak. And my timing, she said, with asking her this was just on point. It's just perfect. That's why I know Minister Davis' books that's coming out right now, Women Submit, under man's mission, not under his feet. I just know wholeheartedly that somewhere divinely all this is going to be connected for his glory. And the Lord showed me that the things that I went through in both of my marriages was for now. Both marriages was bondages. The first marriage was a physical abuse. My first husband beat me all the time, gave me a concussion, blood coming out of my ears, all kinds of stuff. But and then I had this tight bondage in the second marriage. Wow. Anyway, moving right along. So, what should pastors, leaders do in marriage restoration counseling, or in situations where there is abuse, mentally, physically? I've listed them. Number one, pray with them. Number two, listen to both parties. The Lord really helped me with this, because I wouldn't have known none of this. Number three, don't be afraid to say, listen, I've never come across this situation. I'm going to have to seek counsel with the Lord in prayer on this. I don't want to steer you wrong. Leaders, don't be afraid to tell that woman, to tell that man. And there are some men that is being abused. But leaders, don't feel like you have that obligation to come up with an answer that may be a wrong answer. Don't be afraid to say you don't know, or you don't have an answer. You don't want to steer them wrong. A lot of times as leaders, because we're leaders, we feel we have to know everything, and we don't want to look bad, which can be dangerous, not only for us, but not only for them, but for us too. You know, you don't want to be in the position, just like that same conviction that you hold to telling a person not to leave their marriage is going to be on a greater level if you tell that woman to stay in her marriage and she end up dead, or she end up in the hospital, or the man end up doing a murder-suicide. These things have happened. These things have happened. So number 4, know that in certain situations the Lord will have you to tell that couple to leave, or tell one or the other to leave and go. It's okay. As it's been revealed, it's okay. Anything is possible, though, with God. We know that God can restore any marriage. Who knows? It can be reconciled in due time. It may be that they're separated for a season and they will come back together. But don't be a stumbling block by fear and hold a person in marital bondage when the couple don't have a marriage. They have an arrangement, especially where abuse is concerned. Number 5, make sure both parties are in agreement to fix it. You will know the difference. It takes 2 to come into agreement. Okay? Number 6, tell the couple or remind them of their biblical rights in the marriage. Wherever it falls short, focus on those issues with the couple and try to fix it. Because there are marital rights that is being neglected. Those are grounds for divorce. You marry, the Bible says, when two come together, that two become one flesh. You cannot be married in a marriage by yourself, which is what I felt in my marriage. And I used to always say, in my marriage to my husband, I don't feel connected to you for some reason. I said that for years. Like, for some reason, you get married, you feel one with your husband. I never felt that. That's because the Lord has severed my marriage, and I was still in this bondage and didn't know it. Moving right along. Number 7, don't be afraid to report abuse, leaders. All you of the fivefold ministry. It is your responsibility at that time. You are the shepherd. You are responsible for your flock. No take the abuse to other family. No take the abuse. Okay. Ask if there is abuse to other family members, pets, children. Listen, act, and advocate. Listen, act, and advocate. And I got to tell you, the Lord has told me all this. I amazed myself when this was coming on paper. Must I say, the Lord knows I've had training all my life, practically. Number 8, listen for controlling situations. Emotional abuse set up, like emotional abuse, physical set up. If that spouse is willing to fix it and get help, set up anger management. Tell them you would have to set in on a session. And the reason why I say this, before they are clear, because the secular counselors, oh, it looks like you made a breakthrough. Oh, you guys are talking, you're smiling, and while they're in anger management, well, you look better. You look like you're having a breakthrough. You look like you're excited, and they could be putting on the front just to get back to their wife and finish beating her off, beating her up, killing her off, or whatever. Leaders, make it a point to tell that husband or wife while they're in anger management, I'm coming to your last session. Tell your counselor that I need to be in there. Or you counsel them. for the anger management. But I think with anger management, they have to go for anger management. But anyway, you need to be on in on the session. Number 9, safety is always first prior to any counseling. Report abuse. Have numbers on hand for the abuse. For the abusee, that one that is being abused. Have telephone numbers, the YWCA, the domestic violence hotline, or numbers to shelters for their protection, numbers to help get restraining orders. Give them your number. Give them somebody's number. Delegate a person in your church to handle just that type of situation, domesticated abuse situations. Have multiple people in your church to handle situations of that nature. Number 10, make sure you as a leader and your delegated staff follow through with the situation. Check up on them. Make sure that she's safe. Make sure that he is going to anger management. Make sure that he's abiding by the law. Keep up with him, actually, is what I'm saying. Have somebody that can make that phone call. But you must report abuse. When they tell you, you became part of it when they made you part of it. We can't keep silent leaders when it comes to somebody being beat. Can't do it. Okay, number 11. Know that there is no such thing as loyalty in domestic situations or confidentiality. There's no such thing. When children or that wife or that husband is being beaten, there's no such thing as loyalty or confidentiality. It's only confidentiality when you're not telling the business to the church, the congregation. Or it's confidentiality when, you not telling other church members, or you're not putting them on blast, so to speak. Only tell the authorities who need to be told. Okay? So it's got to be done. Put the abusee, because if you do that, you will put that one that's being abused in harm's way. The husband might find out about it, and there it is. You can cause her to get another beat down. That has happened to me. Number 12, in your churches, especially large churches, have multiple people in your church who can help members in these situations. Not just one person. Not just one. That's why it took me 3 years. Oh, I fought hard for my marriage. 3 years. The church was so huge, it was nobody that I can talk to. Nobody. I went through the proper channels, okay? It takes more than one person to delegate and to get up a system like that in the church. So have more than one person that can handle situations of that nature. Any situation for that matter. More marital counselors, preachers, okay, ministers. And also, you want to have monthly discussions with your ministers that is going to be handling the marital counselors, because we as leaders, pastors, we can't do it all. And sometimes, in most cases, we're a one-man show. Like I am in my ministry, I'm a one-man show. I have to do it all. Okay, so not just one. So for a response from don't get so big in the church, in your church, that you can't help your members. That's when you're too big. You're too big. I love the advancement of the kingdom of God and advancing His kingdom, but how can you be a multifaceted, huge, humongous church like the situation I was in, and you not have but one person that is able to talk to, oh man, it has to be like 20,000 members at this church. At least it appears that way. They have to have 3 or 4 services because it's so many people. Look like a football stadium. It's too big. Well, in that case, you should have at least, out of them members, you should have at least 50 people that can be on staff for that type of situation. Have numbers where the members can call. They can set up Lord have mercy. And then y'all can turn these churches into businesses. Because what happened to me, I had to fill out an application to be able to talk to the pastor. What? Then it asked me if I paid my tithes. What that got to do with my marriage? I'm in a crisis here. Yes, I pay my tithes. Have you ever went to any seminars? And could I ask you what they got to do with my marriage? Can we deal with the issue at hand? We need to quit making these churches out of businesses. An application? I can see you want to know some of what's going on. But the questions that was asked on there, oh my goodness, you'd have thought it's ridiculous. This is, oh. But there is another video that I'm going to have to do. And I thought this would end it, but it's one verse that I wanted to clarify, and it was about widows and remarriage that I wanted to clear up in adultery. And I don't know, it can be cleared up in the adultery video. Oh, no. And then there was another issue that I also wanted to share. It was a testimony in my first marriage, what a particular leader did and how he handled it in my situation. It can't be done. But anyway, this video is short. I love you guys. I hope you watch each and every video. Share these videos. If you know a man or woman that is in these situations, you know pastors, leaders that may need help in how to deal with these situations. I'm speaking from experience, and if you got hands-on experiences, better than book experience all day long. I love you guys. See you next video. Thanks.